Anons! Welcome to the quiz show that'll put your very perception of reality into question. Our soon-to-be Robo-Mare overlords are back again to issue you a new artistic challenge, and they're stronger than ever before. Can you beat the bots? And find the fake?
Hello, Anons, and welcome to the 2025 rendition of Find the Fake, the game that blurs the borders of reality and calls on you to redefine them. In previous games, you've proven yourselves to be very savvy mare spotters, failing to find the fakes on only a handful of occasions. So it's time once again to put another year's worth of AI image progress to the test and see just how far these AI mares can pull your leg. The first thing I'll need to do is explain the rules of the game to you, but before I do that, can I get a quick audio-visual check from you in the chat? Everything's okay, you can hear me okay, you can see me fine. No obvious problems. It would be rather unbecoming of me to try and explain the rules into the void. Everything works? Beautiful. Right, I'm going to explain the rules now. Very important you pay attention. Here's how it's going to work. We have 18 rounds where we show you a series of images, some real and some fake, covering a wide range of categories and themes. For each round, you'll be tasked with voting on which images you think are fake by way of SciTube polls. Some of these rounds will be simple image pairings where you know for sure that one is real and one is fake. The polls for these rounds are simple A or B choices. You get 30 seconds for these rounds. Hopefully on screen now you should see an example of what a typical side-by-side round will look like. Fairly self-explanatory, I hope you'll agree. All you need to do is use the provided SciTube polls to indicate which image you think is fake. Remember, only 30 seconds, so don't dilly-dally on your votes. I see there's no poll. Can you please double-check, Hazy, that the polls are coming? Additionally, we also have some rounds that'll feature 2x2 grids for 4 images in total. For these rounds, there might be more than one fake, meaning you have to select multiple options. In these rounds, there's a different poll setup. Works the same as a regular poll, except that one allows you to make more than one selection. You need to click on all the ones you think are fake, and click again to deselect if you change your mind. If in doubt, the darker grey ones are the ones you've got selected. Alright, should be simple enough. Just want to show you examples of what these look like beforehand to minimize any confusion, because you normally can't make multiple selections in SciTube polls. For these rounds, you get 60 seconds. Twice the pictures, twice the time. For this year, I've tweaked the rules. This time, I have allowed light editing of the AI images to remove obvious flaws in what may otherwise be a near-perfect image. This includes AI-powered in-painting and human-powered manual corrections, aka what you as an aspiring AI artist should be doing for any work you expect to be taken seriously. You have my personal guarantee that these edits do not fundamentally change the image and that 90+% of the image remains AI generated. Further to that, you have my assurance that I'm not going to pull any unfair tricks on you. I'm informing you ahead of time that light editing is allowed, so you know to not be on the lookout for any glaringly obvious AI fuck-ups, and I also guarantee that every round will always feature at least one real and at least one fake image. I'm not going to pull a "they are all fake" or anything like that on you. Okay? That's it for the rules. Best of luck, Anons. The integrity of the game is ruined? We'll see. Right, I did see also that the polls didn't come on. The quizbot is balking. One moment. Okay. That's fine. We have a little extra time because I can explain something else to you. One other thing that you'll hopefully notice, this was a thing during Kim's panel. We're going to use it for ours as well. On the left of the screen will be a scoreboard. Assuming that everything's working correctly, that should track how each of you are doing as individuals. You get 1 point per round if you find all the fakes, half a point if you miss one, or wrongly accuse a real picture, and none if you fail to find all of the fakes, or miss 2, or falsely accuse more than 2 real pictures of being fake. This means there's a maximum score of 18, And the winner, well, I guess we'll find some way to award points for the winning person, for, you know, for your mares. It'll be Berry Punch, of course. Right, excellent. I see the first example round is up. So that should have been up when I was explaining the rules. And then, Hazy, could you please hit the second example round for the multi-choice poll? Now that that's all up and running, we can get started. Beautiful. Right. So, example round number 2. This is an example of the multi-select polls. You can select more than one option. And for the rounds where this is relevant, you might have to, because there may or may not be more than one fake. Right, we're about to start the game now, so if you have any questions about the rules, now is your last chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace. You marked everything as fake, then you will get 0 points. That's how the scoring system works. You can't game it. Are gay people allowed? Well, you're here, aren't you? Okay. I think we're all right. But is Clipper real? I don't know. Maybe we can have a poll for that at the end of the day. Right. I think we're ready. Right. Just a reminder, look at the pictures, use the polls, select the ones you think are fake. Get it? Got it? Good. It's time to play Find the Fake. We start with a round featuring the fusion of Chinese cartoons with Canadian cartoons. 2 genres that I know are beloved by many of you, so I very much hope AI can live up to the expectation. Which of these mares will make the cut? And time is up. Let me reveal the results to you. And there you have it. A was fake. Yeah, I see some of you are surprised. I wonder if the death note is the thing that was throwing you off. It's very well written, isn't it? Well, for the most part. The E there has a little double thing, you see. Okay. I see that the round thing hasn't ended. Yes, there you go. Oh, it was very slim. So you did collectively find the fake, but a lot of you were fooled. Okay. Quick detour for some honourable mentions, and there were actually quite a few good contenders for this round. A variety of art styles from many different shows. I especially like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity. Like, her ears, horn, eyes, even her head shape, they're all stylized just like the show that I used to watch as a kid. And the Pokemon AJ ain't too bad either. I find it quite impressive, actually, that the current state of AI is able to fuse these with ponies so well. Almost too well, in fact. With so many other shows and their respective intellectual properties represented on screen, I'm starting to feel a little nervous about potential copyright infringement lawsuits. Not to worry, though, because I've got my lawyer on the case. Me on my way to object. But hold it! There's still more animes, and, stally animes, whatever. Various ponifications from Dragon Ball Z. This is one that I'm a lot less knowledgeable about, so I'm relying on all of you to tell me, well, just how good these are. But the one in the middle, that was actually unprompted. It wants to generate mares. It was specified to generate just the one, but no. He needs an entire harem of mares. Oh, that was quite fun. Rightio. I am assured by my head prompter that these are also indicative of various other animes. I leave that to you to work out, because I ain't got no fucking clue. Okay. Are we ready for round 2? We were quite quick through that, but I know some pony who's even quicker. Not to mention, so awesome! Rainbow Dash previously tried to bedazzle you last year with her blazing wings of fire. But to no avail. She's once again ready to take to the skies, and this time, it's back to basics. Faster than a jetliner, quick as lightning. But one of these dashies just isn't quite fast enough. Can you find the fake?
She got swagger, wings like thunder. Always there to save the day. All the haters face their blunder. Rainbow Dash don't play most awesome pony in the world. Rainbow may unfurl. Fastest flyer in sky, no pony else can even try. Oh.
I absolutely adore that song. Most of you have called B as fake. Let's find out. And the majority of you are correct. So the one on the left, I was kind of hoping that maybe the plane, or the fact that Rainbow's got, well, the wrong colours in her mane, actually. At the top of her mane, it's only supposed to be red, orange, and yellow. But nope, you didn't quite fall for that. Except for the fact that, well, she's got feathers falling out of her wings in front of her, which I find a little odd. Those little oddities were one of the reasons why, actually, I put this up to you. I thought it would be a fun little challenge. Right, Rainbow Dash, flying through lightning. I quite like it. And this is actually the first round that featured an edited image, so in the interest of transparency, I'm going to show you the original side by side, and I'll be doing this for all of the rounds. So on the left is the original, on the right is the one that I edited. I've removed an extra eyelash around her eye, and I've removed an extra rogue stripe in her tail, the purple stripe below the red one. All I did for that was that I painted over in the adjacent colour. Took me literally 2 minutes. I did also consider editing the side mouth. That's quite an egregious case, if I do say so myself. But in this style, in this situation, I kind of felt like it fit, and I don't think I could have done much better. I mean, you all saw me drawing earlier, yeah. Okay, so the reason why I'm going over this is because I want you to see a representative example of the level of editing you'll see in future rounds, and to be assured that I'm not taking the editing to an unreasonable level, okay? Beautiful. Next round, here we go. Twilight is partaking in some extra special lessons from her mentor. Princess Celestia knows that Twilight's lived a rather sheltered life in the castle library, and therefore needs to be prepared to meet other crazy ponies and deal with any level of affection they may show her. Any level of affection. Celestia is a calculating ruler, and leaves nothing to chance. Time's up. I hope you were quick enough. Some of you say you've seen some of these pictures before. That doesn't surprise me. There's a good reason why I picked these, which will be revealed in a moment. Let's find out which one was fake. And A was the fake, as most of you have correctly identified. Excellent. So, the reason why you might have seen this before is because it's actually, I think you'll agree, one of the higher quality ones. I'm assuming that when you say I think you've seen this before, you're referring to the fake one. So, the reason why I wanted to include this one is because it's the kind of image that the Derpy Buru art Gestapo would refer to as an AI composition. An AI art piece that's been in-painted and corrected by an artist who actually knows what they're doing, rather than just me that it's been so far. Felt it important to include at least one picture of this kind in the game to show you AI done right. Because when you put in the time and effort to make it look good, surprise, surprise, it looks good. Is it fake or not? Yes, it is fake. The vast majority of the work was done by AI. You just had a human at the helm, putting in a bit more effort than usual. Okay? Right, before we go to the next round, I'm just going to give you a quick reminder. This is going to be our first 2x2 grid. There'll be 4 pictures to judge this time. You get 60 seconds. There may or may not be more than one fake, and the upcoming poll will allow multiple selections. I'm not going to remind you of this every time we do this, just this once, since it's the first time you're playing it for real. Time for a returning theme, that being show accurate, an area that AI absolutely must get right before generated episodes are even remotely possible. Time for you to judge how close we are. Which of these are screenshots from the show, and which of them are delusional hallucinations? Remember, might be more than one fake. You can select multiple options in the poll. Okay, was there some poll fuckery there? I saw some of you saying that the multi-choice wasn't working. I'm relying on you to tell me when things aren't working, so while I wait for you to tell me, we'll reveal which ones were fake. Actually, which ones do you think? You think C and D are fake. A lot of you are suspicious of B. Let's see. And the answer was C and D. You've committed every frame of the show to memory? Is that so? Did you get it right? I hope so. Right, so these ones were edited. So Rainbow, she had a little extra red bit in the orange part of her mane there. And also I removed the shadow under her chin. You don't tend to see that in the show. Also tidied up her cutie mark a little bit and embiggened the blue stripe in her tail. Next up, Twilight, original on the left, had extra purple stripe in her mane. I removed that. And then a strange little white mark on the left side of her face there. I scrubbed that out as well. There were still 2 rather big tells in this one. One being that she's got 2 notches in her mane at the top. There's usually only supposed to be 1. And also, whatever has shocked her so badly also appears to have caused her tail to fall off. Stream down, we are so back. Uh-oh. I'm giving a little pause intermission. Is everything okay? You missed the tail totally? Did it drop briefly? Short tails are in this season? Okay. I'm going to assume everything's fine. Everyone's saying it's all okay. Alrighty, I'm going to keep an eye on the next multi-choice poll, because some of you were saying something weird was up with it. Hopefully not. Right. Anyway, point of this round was to demonstrate that AI is near perfect with show-accurate pieces, at least for the popular characters. Main 6, it's virtually indistinguishable, though the background mares still need a little bit of work. I think you'll agree, though, that the general vibe, body shape and all of that is pretty much spot on, so... Also, the buildings in the background, hills in the background, clouds in the sky, it's all there. Soon enough, I think it'll be pretty much perfect, and we'll have background mares taking their rightful place centre stage. And onward now, to the next round, we're making a small pivot. To Kirins. A new category for this year. Let's see how well it goes. Hopefully we don't overfit the model and accidentally summon a Neric. Can AI be a Kirin? I can see that the poll isn't hidden, which... I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be. Technical difficulties, please understand. I mean, I can still see you expressing your opinions, so... I think we're alright. The majority of you are quite clearly calling B as the fake. Are you right? You were. B was fake. But I'd still say it's a pretty good fake. A fake that was edited, again, very, very likely. The only thing that was changed were the colour of her hooves. Autumn Blaze's hooves are supposed to be green, so I just changed them to green. Nice and simple. There were plenty of other Kirins to choose from, though. Here's a collage of honourable mentions. All in a somewhat similar style, so I merged them all into one. I think my favourite one is in the bottom right there, Autumn Blaze basking in the fire. But also, all of the facial expressions it can do. I'm very happy with that. They look pretty good. Points aren't updating correctly, as it seems. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it was a little bit of a far shot, I think. All of these were put together a little bit at the last minute, and this is the first time we've ever done something like this before. I can say, though, that so far, you as the audience, I have been keeping track mentally, you are all, well, perfect records so far. There have been a few wobbly moments, but for the most part, you are doing pretty well. A few more honourable mention Kirins. Again, we need to do some different art styles, and some different Kirins, actually, because these are, well, not Autumn Blaze, as far as you can see. And while some of them do have a few extra legs in some cases, I still quite like them. I mean, with a bit of editing, either one of these really could have been viable for the main round, I think. Out in the forest, you meet a lone Kirin. Can you tell if it's male or female? I don't think the AI can. It's trying to do the stripes there, but I'm not sure I would trust that. Treat those hearts with caution. Or don't. You do you. Uh-oh. Oh no, where'd this bat come from? Ugh. Who left out a bowl of mangoes? Well, probably no one, actually. They've all already been stolen. By this lot. Well, we can't prevent this mango theft, but maybe we can stave off future mango genocide by identifying the culprits. Time's up. Have the bats snuck past you? Or are you the one sneaking through? And it looks like we have our first failure. I think enough of you clicked on C for me to count that as the audience thinking the majority. We're going for that. Yep. Very good reason why I chose that one. It does look a little bit weird in so far as, well, she's not really attached to the tree, is she? Yep, you got both of those correct. Well done. Okay. Right, slight editing. So for this one, the star little shaped thingy in the top right was removed. I thought it looked a little out of place. And I also tidied up her cutie mark, and then there's a sort of malformed signature by her tail. I got rid of that too. Right. I really love the Muffin Derpy. So on the left you see the original generation. So we zoomed in on that, cropped it, and upscaled it. Reason for that is I think the multi-layeredness of the muffin made it too obvious that it was AI. And then from left to right, the smaller ones, I tidied up her eyelashes and gave her correct eye shinies. Okay, what do you think of Muffin Derpy though? I mean, yeah, it's AI, but I think it's really cute. I love this picture. It's wonderful. Look at her, she's so cute. Okay, a few more Derpy bats. I mean, well, Derpy is still very good, so we better have a few more pictures of her. One thing to note that the AI did very well with this one, I think, is the subsurface scattering on the ears to the left. Look at how the light's shining through. Like, it knows what the ears are and how they're supposed to behave in the light. It's so cool. And, oh dear, looks like the model got contaminated with some Kirins. Whoops! Or maybe the bat virus has spread to the Kirin Empire. Alright, another little collage of Flutterbats. We gotta respect the OG here. Again, plenty in here, but if you look in the bottom left there, Fluttershy's head's upside down with relation to her mane. It looks good, but it's still hilariously wrong in its own special way. Alright, a few more bats before we move on in a different style. So these ones are maybe the sorts of bats you'd find in Canterlot in the Royal Night Guard. And finally, the bat used in the background image. I really, really like this bat. I mean, this one's got the same sort of colouring in her ears and wings that we saw with Derpy earlier, and the sort of gothic theming. Yeah, she's bald. Since when do bats have hair? I wonder, could we come up with a name for her? I don't suppose anyone has any good ideas. I think this bat's cute enough to be worthy of a name. Baldy Skies? Boldo? I was waiting until someone would say Zippers. I don't think it quite matches Zippers too much, other than the obvious. I want to be, slightly less obvious. Threstula? That's alright, I kind of like that one. Too happy to be Zippers. Too right. Count Threstula, going with the gothic theme. Yeah, I think that fits. Violet Delight? Board Killer? Threstula, Raby. You guys are too good at this. Okay, right. Shall we move along? Since the bats got their chance, Princess Muna insisted, nay, demanded, to be included. A matter of operating in the shadows, she's sure to put forward a very good disguise. Are you up to the task of foiling the Queen of the Night? And that's your time up. How well have you treated your mistress? A lot of you think A is fake, but a reasonable amount of suspicion on B. Let's see. And by majority vote, you were correct. A was the fake. Though a very good fake once again, I must say. The stars in her mane are a little bit misshapen, but to me, that's really the only dead giveaway, other than perhaps a sort of overarching AI style, for lack of a better term. A lot of them, for the better or worse, for worse mainly, they tend to have the same sort of styling because a lot of the time people don't change much in the prompts. The eyebrows are whack? Perhaps. You'd have to ask someone who actually knows more about art than me. As I've clearly demonstrated, I'm not the best. Anyway, Luna actually had some company on the moon. Shall I show you a funny picture? Take a look at this thing. What in the ever-loving fuck is going on here? Now, to me, really what's so horrifying about this picture is the helmet. Like, what the fuck is that helmet? Like, it's in the top of the head. Like, think about where his face is. It's looking into the side of the helmet. And it makes him look like a fucking millipede or something with the little segments in his body. Oh no, and he has hooves, yes. Okay. I will swiftly remove that from your sight. And we'll do something a little bit more pleasant, shall we? Call upon the CPU ponies. They're eager to meet you at the upcoming Pone Voyage. However, it seems some of them are trying to stow away on board without purchasing a ticket. Which of these fish ponies is the fishiest?
Shooby-doo, shoo-shooby-doo. Are you stuck at sea? Caught up in a storm? Wishing you were somewhere else, safe and nice and warm. Are you sinking fast? Had some nasty shocks? Feeling like all hope is gone and washed up on the rocks. Washed up on the rocks. Shooby-doo, shoo-shooby-doo. Call upon the sea ponies when you're in distress. Help
I see one of you saying all fake. I will repeat my guarantee. There is at least one real, at least one fake.
your rudder runs afoul of seaweed monster. Count upon the sea ponies. They'll see you. Sea ponies, super signal is on. Super signal is on. Sea ponies, super signal is on. Super signal is on, yes.
This round seems to be a lot closer. I saw a lot of you not too sure about B, for instance. Okay, so B, C, and D you're all calling as fake. Let's find out. B and D were fakes. C was real. So, collectively, you've found the fakes, but one of them has been caught in the crossfire. So, A is a little weird, rather freaky, if I'm being honest myself. That's why I chose it. And then the little watermark, I saw some people saying, yeah, it's a little odd. And again, to make the game more interesting, I do try to find a good matchup of fakes to real images. Surprisingly, to me though, a lot of you thought that a double-headed sea pony is perfectly reasonable, where it took you a very long time to conclude it wasn't. Right, so we've got lots of good sea ponies to go through here. Some are beautiful, some are sneaky, some have beautiful fins, and others even have horns that neatly integrate into their fins. Look at the bottom left there, that's very nicely done. And it looks like some of these sea ponies have actually taken a particular liking to Anons, over on the right there. So you better be vigilant on Pone Voyage, for you may end up with more friends than you bargained for. How many of you will I be seeing on Pone Voyage, Anons? Give me a little roll call. Who's coming along? I bet it's going to be a great time. We're going to see the sea ponies. take you? Yeah, you will? Hell yeah. Fishy friends! Sea ponies with back hooves? Yeah, it's a little inconsistent. It can be. Up to you, I suppose. Well, on that subject, what say you to this? The background image to use to the slides. Behold the majestic seahorse. Clipper ship, my darling. Yes, your darling who stole my name. Anyway, S-Horse, indeed. Anyway, with regards to the horse, just look at the corals in the background. If there were no horse in here, would you call this as fake? Genuine question, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's as much to go on in there. I can be your darling too. Okay. You can be my darling? Well, if you try too hard, maybe I'll make you walk the plank and feed you to the shark mares. Okay. Now we come to the segment of ponifications, pony-sonas, and other pony-centered originalities. Do not steal. Some of these have already been replaced by those sneaky changelings. So then, which of these are original creations, and which are obvious copycats? And time's up. What have we got? Unfortunately, the poll results are all visible. Shouldn't be like that, but I suppose with how everything got balked earlier, that's the price we pay for the multiple select rounds to work. Does kind of take a little bit of the fun out of it, but oh well. A and D are by far your selections. Okay then, let's see. And you missed one. I think that's the first one so far. So you haven't actually seen an SFM one yet, so that's why I chose to include this one. One that you may or may not actually correctly identify, just because, well, you don't necessarily know what to look for. We'll have some more 3D ponies later on for you to hone your skills, so don't worry too much. With that one, I think the outfit and the socks may well have covered up a lot of what may have otherwise thrown it off, because the face looks perfectly reasonable, I think. Now I'm wondering, what is it about A and D that made it so obvious to you compared to C? I was hoping that the random little 20 text on the screen would kind of make you think, why would that have been put there? I have no idea. I mean, I have no idea myself. SFM looks so good. Yep, that's why I chose it. I mean, the purpose of this game is to have fun fooling you, and also show you just how cool AI actually can be. Shadow shape and ear. Okay. And apparently the poll results are only visible to me because I'm a mod. Okay, fair enough. I didn't. I didn't consider that. Never mind then. Disregard everything I said earlier about polls being visible. I am silly. Alright, so that takes your score to currently 2 falsely accused and 1 missed. I wasn't expecting a perfect run for you, but you're still doing very, very good so far, I think. Let's see if you can keep that up. Right after I show you some honourable mentions. A splishy, splashy soap mare. Look at her. Whee! Look at her go. How slippery do you think she is? Could you try and hug her? Would she just slip right out of you? Would you be squeaky clean after hugging her? Would a quick little cuddle with her replace the need for shower? Alright. On the subject of SFM earlier, I thought I'd show you this one. It's an astronomer. who loves to gaze upon the stars in the night sky, as well as the ones on her coat, especially liking how her cutie mark is formed from a constellation of said stars. You've heard of the Horsehead Nebula, so may we present to you the rest of the horse. The Horse Nebula. Or, Mare-bula? And speaking of galaxies far, far away, this starfaring mare is pondering the various buttons and switches on their recently stolen, legally acquired starship on her way to explore the Mare-bula. Unfortunately, her crewmate's been stranded on Tatooine during a particularly dry and dusty evening, watching the nearby cruiser breach the atmosphere, wondering how long it'll be before she's sold into slavery. Aww. And finally, going in a completely different direction, there exist several food ponies, so we couldn't resist creating a banana split. Such a sweet mare. So the reason why I wanted to go through all of those was to show you that AI can create a reasonable looking OC based on basically any concept you can name. So if you have an idea, some character traits, a general color scheme, or even none of the above, only just the vaguest idea, prompt an AI, see what it gets you. Maybe you need a character for a story or something you're writing. Yeah, can help you out nicely there. And I think Banana Split needs some friends. And I know some pony who I think would get along wonderfully with her. Punk! There she is! Woohoo! And guess what, Anons? You've got your very own invitation to enjoy Penkapo's fantabulous Find the Fake Party! And time's up. Party is over for now. Let's see what we got. Right, so we've got C and D, definitely. A lot of suspicion on B. I think that's enough of a majority to call B as fake. Again, a lot of you are suspicious of A, but I think we can say you are calling that as real overall. Okay, B, C, and D, I think we'll call. Let's find out. Okay, C and D were fake. You have falsely accused B. So I saw someone saying A has the wrong cutie mark. Yeah, just because you're a real artist doesn't mean you can draw all the cutie marks correctly. Just ask anyone who's ever drawn Rainbow Dash. We truly have it worse. So, Pinkie Pie. The bottom two I don't think were particularly difficult. I did debate removing the hearts around Pinkie on D, but I thought that might have made it a little bit too difficult. I've been a little bit mean with some of these so far, I think. Or maybe not mean enough. You are all actually doing very well. A lot better than I expected. So maybe actually I need to be harsher to you in future. Okay. So, Pinkie's fantabulous Find the Fake Party draws to a close. But wait! I'm sure the great party planner Pinkie Pie won't be satisfied with just one party, right? Do you hear that music brewing? A beat that reminds you of something? Oh boy. That's right, Anons. It's time for the after party! Ponyville's premiere Party Pony still has plenty of partying left to do, an extra special after party planned for 2. The theme of the night, extra funerific stripy socks. All the other guests have left, the lights have dimmed. The memory of a great get-together with happy mares burns bright. But the music pulses to a distinctly different tune. A tune that Pinkie somehow manages to play with her socks as the only instrument. Don't question it, just hurry on upstairs to the bedroom now for some extra special party games. But don't be too hasty, you wouldn't want to stumble through the wrong door, lest you be relegated to a party of 1. Wouldn't be the first time for you, I'm sure. Good luck, Anons! The after party is on! Don't get too distracted now. Remember to keep your eyes on the prize. No, not that prize. Just find the fake. And that's your time up. I hope you weren't too distracted. That's a bit of a dirty trick from me, isn't it? Oh, there was the poll. Well, for those of you who were able to get your eyes on the poll for long enough, let's see. A, B, and D very comprehensively. Alrighty, let's see if you've won the ultimate pink Party Pony prize. And you're correct. Congratulations, Anons. Clearly you've got everything right in one area. So for the one that was real, I was kind of hoping that the little mare tooth would throw you off. Like, why would that be included? I don't know. Not for me. Anyway, I thought A and D you'd call pretty easily as fakes, and then deliberate over B a fair bit. I quite like B, actually. It's, quite sensibly proportioned, shall we say. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, Pinkie Pie isn't when it's come from artists like this. Surprisingly enough, it was actually very difficult to find compelling, real pictures for this one that weren't just gelatinous blobs that happened to have socks on them. Oh, Pinkie, I am so sorry. Anyway, we've got plenty of Anons here who appreciate you, so I'm sure that everything will be just fine for you. Okay, time for the next round now. We're going to add a new dimension. We're stepping into the realm of 3D models. Let's see how well AI can handle the Z-axis. With these sweet little Applejacks. And that's your time up. Where are the results? Pretty close, relatively speaking. I mean, this one's nowhere near as clear-cut as the last round. 55 to 29 in favour of B. Alrighty, off we go. Apparently A has rig deformation, so it's easy. I suppose Hoover actually knows what 3D models actually look like when you mess with them in real software. But despite that, I think the B one looks pretty good. Shadows done correctly, the little squares on her body, they're an odd choice, but they're consistent all across her body with those little polygons, I suppose you'd call them. And also the background all looks pretty sensible and on theme. Okay. Oh, and what's this? It looks like Applejack's here to offer you a prize for a job well done. It's one ripe, juicy, fresh apple from the farm. Here you go, Anon. Enjoy! Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move very swiftly away from that horrific thing to this horrific thing. I don't really know what to say about this one, other than it looks like an unsolicited horny message you might get on Snapchat. I sent you a pic of my apples, please respond. Applejack when Anon doesn't respond. Right, should be noted, this particular one wasn't actually AI generated, this one's real. It's a nice reminder that the bizarreness has never been exclusive to just modern AI, you know? But just with this picture, I thought of that and I just, I couldn't resist. Boom! But it looks like AJ hasn't stopped at just the world. She shattered the universe through her own face. This one's fake. Just thought I'd clarify, as if that wasn't obvious enough already. Okay, right. Next, we're moving towards a similar topic. We're remaining in the 3D space for now, and this time pivoting from digital 3D models to physical 3D models. Figurines play a large part in the merch space, so certainly worth seeing what the AI mares have to offer here. Can you figure out which figure is fake? Time's up and ons. What say you? Let me get that poll revealed. Why does AI look more real than the real shit? AI is actually very good, I think, at materials. There have been plenty of examples of AI mares made of all sorts of things, from gemstones to regular stones and everything in between. Anyway, let's find out which one was real, shall we? You think A is fake, but again, a non-trivial amount of suspicion on B. And the majority of you are correct. It's A. So, I think the AI did a good job on this one, in emulating the material. I just don't think it did a good job in selecting the material. It looks almost certainly like it's concrete to me, and I'm no structural engineer, but trying to coax concrete into that kind of shape with that level of detail, I don't know if that's possible. Maybe it is. Maybe someone can prove me wrong, but anyway. In light of that, I was kind of hoping you'd assume it was just a regular carved stone thing, and in the background, it looks sensible enough. I mean, it's all blurry and shit, so it almost doesn't matter what it puts there. Point I'm making is, it looks reasonable. Lenny, get the fuck in here. I don't think he is. You fucking suck at this? Well, it's okay, Anon. I'm training you to be better. It's like the tertiary reason why this panel exists. To show you AI, to have fun fooling you, and to train you to get better at spotting people who are trying to deceive you. Speaking of which, here are some real figures up against some fake ones. So some of these, I think, the Applejack in the bottom left, that was originally a main contender that would have gone in Rarity's place. It was when Rarity was generated that, well, I liked her more. I especially liked just the fact that it looked so realistic, the concrete, even though who the fuck would make Rarity out of concrete? I don't know, but someone might. In the same reason someone might make Applejack out of straw. There's all sorts of things, but I really think that if you look at the figure of Twilight and Fluttershy there, they look plausible as something that could easily have been made. AI is pretty cool, isn't it? I think it is. AJ looks really convincing? That's a question, then. Would you have fallen for Applejack? maybe not up against the Guardsmere. I mean, Shydale is pretty well known, and I'd say his style is pretty recognizable. His style? Her style? I don't actually know. Their style. Anyway. Are we ready for the next round? You would have been fooled by AJ? Well, hindsight's 20/20. Oh well. Time to step into the plush round now. Another returning topic, where faux fur is even more faux than usual. Detective Rarity is on the case. Which of these plushies are packing a little more silicone than usual? Alright, time's up. What are you calling? You're calling B as fake. Okay, quite convincingly as well. Are you correct? Yes, you were. I saw some of you questioning the blue tail, saying it was a red herring. It was. It was a blue herring, in fact. I do wonder how many of you were initially confused by Big Mac's tail. That was the whole point, after all. Seemingly not in the end, but, you know, swings and roundabouts. So this one actually comes courtesy of Ponymalian. One of the big things about his plushies is that their manes and tails can be detached and swapped around. So I had the idea to ask him to attach the wrong tail to one of them and see if I could confuse you that way. It didn't work out, I'm afraid, but anyway, my thanks go to him for entertaining my rather odd request. And also my thanks goes to him sometime in the near future for crafting my beautiful wife. Right, AJ here was edited. I changed the mouth colour on this one because for some reason the AI decided it would be black. I don't know why. I saw someone, I can't remember who it was, say AJ looks a bit too perfect. That's kind of why I selected this one. Something about having an apple in it, I think, helped sell it much better for me. But apparently, perfect is too perfect. AI would fuck up repetitive patterns, would it? For the most part, except around the seams, it looks reasonable enough to me. One of the big tells for me, actually, is if you look where her cutie mark is, there seems to be a rather redundant seam going directly vertically upwards. Again, I don't know anything about plushmancy, but that doesn't look like it's necessary. The stitching tipped you off? Yeah. There's a little orange streak in the apple? You mean that on the left side? I think that's just the tip of her hoof poking out. Plush makers do that sometimes? Okay. I'll have to take your word for it. The pillow and sheet looked too smooth? Well, you're just not used to making your bed, are you? What kind of filthy shithole do you live in? Probably the same sort of filthy shithole I live in, because I don't make my bed either. Okay, right. The plushie round also serves a secondary purpose, that being an excuse for me to show you a whole load of zany AI plush shenanigans. Starting with whatever this is. 6 legs, so maybe an attempt at a glim ant? Though, given the position and relative length of her forelegs, I'm thinking more praying mantis, which is rather appropriate given Glimglam's penchant for remorseless violence. And on that particularly happy note, Twilight offers you a burger. How nice of her. That is, of course, until you realise that the burger is in fact a plushie burger, meaning that only Twilight can eat it. Oh well, I'm sure you don't mind letting her have it, do you? No. You're nice, aren't you? Okay, up next is a collection of AI images that I can say, with complete confidence, are flawless. Badum-tish. Seriously though, this is pretty good. Mostly accurate to her actual design from what would only have been a text description supplied, and kept consistent across a variety of angles. Like that particular part, keeping it consistent across these angles, I think is the most impressive. Though not quite as impressive as this dashing daredevil. And upon seeing this, I could only think of one thing. Yes. Hell yes. Can you imagine if someone were to do this for real? Surely it wouldn't be too hard to attach a parachute to a plushie, or strap her into one of those tandem harness things. If any of you in the audience have the balls to pull this off, that would have to be one of the greatest plushie photos of all time. Okay. One more now, before we move on. It is a dream of many to live with their pony waifus. But what about living in her? That right there is a solution to the housing crisis if I ever saw one. And it would be so simple too. Just, make the plushies bigger. Move your gaming rig inside and you're good to go. It's so simple. There is, in fact, only one small issue to work out here. Where's the door? Anyway, I've just heard word from Princess Celestia that she's allowed us access to a few of her guards to present themselves for inspection. A bit different from their usual rounds, but hey, it's not like they were doing anything useful anyway. You never know how far up the ranks they've infiltrated. Can you uncover the covert conspirators? And time's up. Right, who's looking on point, and who's being sent from a bollocking from their drill sergeant? What do you think, Anons? A and C by a considerable margin. Perfectly tied with A and C, in fact. I think that's the first time we've had that so far. Okay, A and C it is. Is it? Yes, A and C were the fakes. Well done. So, one thing that I want to ask you, what made you look at the generic vector-looking guard thing in C and the generic vector-looking guard thing in D and think that they were different? Because to my eye, basically the same. Yes, furry, I know. It's an accurate description of the model used to generate it. It's just a word. Calm down, it can't hurt you. Okay? Rivets are kind of fuzzy. Okay. The straps are weird. So you're looking more at the details of their armor. Okay. I was kind of hoping that the sort of fuzzy hard edges in D would throw you off a little bit. It looks, I don't know, it doesn't look quite right to me. Actually, the reason why it doesn't look quite right to me is because this particular vector has been recolored to the nth degree to form basically every Guardsmare OC you can name on the Buru. These funny little things that you notice once you actually go looking for fakes and real images to put up against each other. Okay. So the cute Guardmare, who applied some red eyeliner this morning, as good as her intentions were, I don't think her drill sergeant would agree, so to avoid any unnecessary extra PT, I quickly removed that before she went out on parade. And a few honourable mentions for you. So this would have been a contender, but previously we've done bat ponies already, and we've seen night guard ponies. I think those it's a bit too repetitive, but I just wanted to show you this one because it's really good. Look at the helmet, actually, how it's done the sort of mohawk thing correctly to the side, with how his head is also turned to the side. I liked this one so much that I actually edited this one, just for fun, basically. So for some reason there's like little white splotches all over. I removed those, got rid of the 3 little weird X's in the bottom right for some reason, and then painted out the rivets in the armor because a lot of them looked rather inconsistent. So it's actually not that difficult to make a decent picture actually look pretty good. Again, this is like 5 minutes worth of effort I'm talking here. Okay, so the Night Guard have been presented for inspection, but what about Luna herself? What do you think, Anons? Is she up to test? Up to scratch? Are you even allowed to inspect and criticize her armor? Maybe, maybe not. Go on. Tell her her armor's wrong. She dares you. Just look at that face. Crabtail. Fake, but still would. Yeah? Again, it looks reasonable for the most part. I don't see an awful lot wrong with that. This one has the weird white splotches again. You could easily paint those out if you wanted. Okay. A few more honourable mentions. Luna getting maybe a little too friendly with her guards on inspection. Did this guard do especially well or especially poorly on drill inspection to earn this kind of treatment? What do you think, Anons? No, you just wish that was you. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Are you ready for the next round? There's only a few left to go now. Right. Oh my, Anon. It is indeed you that I spy. It appears that I have caught your wandering eye. Ooh, and, what's that? Oh, hello, Twiggy. What's that you say? Oh, you want to select the music for the next round? Well, okay, sure. We haven't had any unique music for a little while, so I don't see any harm in that. Fire away, Twiggy.
Till they're all gone. I thought I would write this song. It's the one thing that's on my mind. I think about it all the time. Total Zecora death. TCT. Total Zecora death. TCT. Zecora killer, yeah, you know me. Zecora killer. Every day's a killing spree. Zecora killer. You know my job is making them dead. Zecora killer. Paving streets with the insides of their heads. If you got stripes, watch out for the knife wounds on your flank. Prepare for shank. If you see me and you don't run, I'll give you good reason to fear my gun. I can't stop till they're all gone. I thought I would write this song. It's the one thing that's on my mind. I think about it all the time. Total Zecora death. TCT. Total Zecora death. Total Zecora death. Total Zecora death. TCT. Total Zecora death. TCT.
Well, that was certainly some music. Remind me never to trust Twiggy ever again. Right, what are you saying? B, C, and maybe D? Is that a 50% majority? I don't think so. I think that's just slightly on the wrong side of 50%. B and C are your answers, then. Okay. Okay. Let's find out. Only C was fake. So Zecora, I don't know what kind of potions she's ingested, but it seems like she's actually become the potion. And seemingly given you some of that potion at the same time. Nope, that one was real. I saw a little bit of suspicion on D. It was from the comics, and I don't know, maybe you're just trying to tell me the comics aren't canon and therefore it's fake. I mean, that's a fair enough argument, isn't it? Okay. So C was edited. For some reason, the stripes at the bottom of Zecora's neck there were black, so I just changed them to be the same color as the rest of her mane. Okay, just, you know, transparency and all that. And actually, on the subject of mohawks... No, actually, we'll do that later. I want to show you these ones first. I think this is what Twiggy was thinking about when she selected that song. I did also desperately try to find some more plausible-looking Zeebs like this, but unfortunately they all just looked okay, but not passable. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you about the subject of mohawks. What if Zecora swapped it out for dreadlocks? What would that look like? Something like this, perhaps? I mean, you can kind of see the logic it was trying to follow here. Her dreads would surely be long and stripy, just like her mane, so just stick some extra legs on top of her mane. Job done. Yeah? No, but wait. We can go even further. Have you ever wondered about the effect that would arise from her constantly wearing those rigid gold rings around her neck? One may expect her neck to become elongated under the constant strain, and if left unchecked, the results could be quite dramatic. But despite this, she still wears the rings. In fact, she's put even more rings on than usual. So I suppose the only sensible thing to do would be to push this all the way to its logical conclusion. Long enough? Yeah, I think so. Right, moving back into the realm of relative sanity, we'll finish this round with a few more honourable Zeeb mentions. Nice variety of styles, including that of the comics in the bottom right there, so perhaps you were right to be suspicious of that earlier on. Perhaps one day we could use this technology to create some comics that could actually be considered canon. One can dream. Alright, thank you for your help, Zecora. It's time for the next round. Actually, you know, the mares have had a rather exhausting time preparing these challenges for you, so they're going to need to take a little break. Make sure to keep quiet in the chat. You wouldn't want to wake them, would you? Let them have their well-deserved EP sleep. No rest for you, though. There are always more fakes to find. Don't fall asleep now. A brief rest, I know, but just long enough, I think, for you to find the fake. Very confidently voting for A. Okay then, which one's fake? You are correct. A was fake. So I was kind of hoping that the pillow and the fact that Rarity's legs are kind of all over the place in the real one would throw you off. Not to be, I think. Perhaps one of the things that threw it there for the fake one was the fact that Rarity's curls don't quite work correctly. You'd need to rotate her middle curl in her tail there by like 90 degrees to the left in order for that to work. I would have done that if I was sufficiently skilled in editing, as this Rarity was edited, again, fairly lightly. Tidied up her eyelashes. She had a few extra Z's in the bottom left there. I tidied those up, moved them to the top right. And then she had some rather odd shading in some places. I smoothed all of that out, and then I tidied up her cutie marks. Okay. Honourable mentions. I think AI also does a pretty good job for Sleepy Ponies. Plenty of variety in both characters and art style. Any of these could have been viable candidates, I think, with a bit of editing. Applejack there, I think, would have been my pick. It would have been easy enough to edit her freckle there, but the fact that her second hind leg seems to be sticking out of the barrel in a way that doesn't make any sense would have been a bit too difficult for me to do. My favourite, though, is Rainbow. Not just because I'm biased, because she's my wife, well, okay, maybe a little bit, but just sleeping all sprawled out on the pillow there. It's so like her. Okay. With the mares well rested, they're ready to put their best hoof forward for the final round. That's right. It's the final round. Can you believe it? We're here already. What is the topic of the final round, I wonder? Here it comes. Snow Pity. Arguably the ultimate test for any aspiring artist, AI or otherwise, is to capture the intangible mariness of a mare. The thing that makes a mare, you know, mare. Mare, mare, mare. Mare, 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 mare. I love them. Well, here's the current state of AI up to the task. Well, I guess that's for you to decide. Alright, time's up. Which one of these is a mare and which is an aram? What do you think? B? B by a considerable margin, but again, a lot of you are suspicious of A. But no, by quite a margin, B is what you're voting for. Alrighty, let's see. You were correct. I was kind of hoping that this one would do a little bit better because I just really, really like this one. I mean, just look at her. She's so cute. This picture that you see on the right here is the reason why the Snow Pity round exists. The hearts in her eyes are too clean. Is that really a giveaway? If anything, I'd think them being misshapen would be the problem. I don't understand what you mean by that, I'm afraid. No, it's too pretty. It's done too good a job. It's too slopper style. Perhaps. Okay, well, hold that thought. We'll come back to it in a moment. I'm going to show you this. It was too good to just let the AI take the reins entirely on this. We've got to have at least a little bit of intervention to achieve maximum Snow Pity. I tidied up her eyebrows and her eye outlines and generally smoothed some lines. It's all very minor. You can see above her left eye, well, right as we look at it, there's an extra rogue eyelash. I scrubbed that out. And then the eyebrows that are actually in her mane, they were a little bit misshapen, so I just smoothed that out. Okay? Right, so let's look at some honorable mentions. All of these actually come from the same prompter, and they were all just generally Rainbow Shine being really, really cute. It was a very tight choice, actually, between this and Princess Rainbow Shine in the top right there. What swung it in the end was my inability to convincingly edit her regalia. Tell me, Anons, what do you think of these ones? Are any of these more Snow Pity than previously? How about the previous early gen Rainbow Shine in the bottom right there? IDW comic style, or maybe even Princess Rainbow Shine? What do you think? You love the G1 one? Yeah, the cutie mark is wrong, but again, that's easy enough to correct, as I hope I have adequately demonstrated. Again, AI will get things wrong. It's up to you as the artist to actually, make your art good, regardless of what tool you're using. The subtle but strong in A is undeniable. It's subtle but strong in... What? Sorry, I don't understand. You like comic style? Okay. Her cutie mark is mostly correct there. You just need to correct the middle bit there. It should be red. And again, can I offer you a suggestion? These are cute mares. That is my suggestion. I like these mares. They're cute. They're a little rough around the edges. But again, I like them. Suggestion accepted. That makes me quite happy. Because I would be very interested to see how a topic like this evolves, perhaps into next year. What's clear to me, actually, is that I need to be harsher with you, because you are too good at finding fakes. You failed to find, I think it was 3 or 4, I'll have to rewatch the picture. You failed to find 3 or 4, and you falsely accused 2 or 3, but that's probably still a 90+% hit rate, so you're actually doing just as well this year as you have been in previous years, and I commend you for that. This year was way harder than last year? Good, that's what I was intending. Hard, but, fun. Hard but fun. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. One more honourable mention. Look at this. Rainbow Shine. It's the same style, same AI style, but again, look at the cute mare. AI can do it. she's got a bit too few many eyelashes, and you probably would have had to re-roll this prompt a few times to get the proper one. It's all a case of your intention, and you know, like, are you intending to create a cute mare, or are you intending to do, well, this? AI is perhaps capable of generating snow pity, but perhaps not all the time. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this one. Praised be the sun, praised be our eventual future AI overlords. Right, it's time for me now to tally up your final score. I kinda already spoiled this a little bit, I think, but we gotta do everything properly. Let me feed your results into our very sophisticated AI algorithm. How well did you do? You won. Yes, this is a firm victory for Anons in finding fakes. But again, much harder this year based on your feedback, and I'm very happy to see that. Tell me, Anons, once you're done spamming your sunbeams in the chat, would you like me to make it even harder next year? Do you want me to be an absolute bastard with finding the worst that human art has to offer? Like, ones that really look like only an AI could have done such a bad job with. Or shall I keep it relatively fair like I have this year? Should I do more aggressive editing? Should I just join you in spamming sunbeams? I think I'll just join you in spamming sunbeams. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them. Why not? There you go, have a sunbeam. I have contributed to the problem. Nah, sunbeam ain't a problem. Nah. Okay. So, that is at the official scheduled end of the panel, but depending on how much time we have, I'm sure mods will advise me, if I may, I can invite our head prompters in to talk about the work they did. I'm going to give you this slide. So, credit where it's due, I didn't do most of the prompting. That was done mostly by Hazy Skies, More Mares Please, and also various things sourced from the AI art thread. And if they would like to, just like we did last year, probably not for as long as we did last year, we did end up going on quite the rambling tangent last year, but if they would like, I will invite Hazy and More Mares Please if they wish to talk. I'm just going to give them a moment to tell me whether or not they wish to. Send me a message, please. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. I'll just end it here, and I'll go have a well-deserved drink, I think. Hazy says sure. Okay. And I haven't had any mods message me to say that I'm not allowed to do that. Actually, shall I take a quick look at the schedule? Because I know that we've probably got Half-Life AR VR MLP coming up very, very soon. I wouldn't want to intrude on that. Alright, so let me look at the schedule. Saturday... and... Oh yes, we are running a fair bit late. Partially my fault, I think we had some technical issues that meant I was delayed in starting. Okay. But I haven't had any mods tell me to fuck off yet, so... let's do this. Daisy, I'll give you a call now, I'll let you speak, but we'll try and keep this fairly brief. Okay? Okay. One moment, please. Alright, Hazy should be here now. Say good day, Hazy.
G'day.
Can you hear Hazy, chat? Have I got it correctly configured this time? Can you say good day again, please, Hazy?
Yep, I can speak.
Okay. I'm trying to wait for a break in the sunbeams to see. Yes, okay, I see a few yeses there.
Alright, cool.
With another year of AI improvement, the good ones will be really indistinguishable. That's what I was hoping for this year, but evidently not. You lot are just too good. Okay, so Hazy, I'm gonna basically let you talk as much as you like, within reason. I don't want to have this go too far. This is going to be, you know, fairly quick, I think, because we've got Half-Life AR. Well, actually, none of them have told me not to stop, so I'm just assuming that I'm just helping them to stall. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about your experience with AI this year and how you feel like it's working compared to last year?
Yeah, so a lot of them oh, hold on, let me actually mute the stream so I'm not hearing double voices. So there was a lot more of using various different AIs in order to get the results that would actually fall, or at least an attempt to kind of match it up to the correct styles. Because I found that certain of the AIs actually functionally suit a better category. Like for example, Google's Imagen 3 suits better for like SFM and like realistic like style ones. And oh man, there's so many jumping on board the whole thing now that there's multiple models, not just based on stable diffusion. Like
It was a bit restricted last year, wasn't it? Because I remember a lot of last year it was Pony Diffusion, Purple Smart, and Midjourney for the most part. There were a lot of, if you were paying attention, Anons, to the AI architectures mentioned as we were going through this.
well, technically, Purple Smart and Pony Diffusion are the same thing, it's just under different names. They're wanting to just drop the diffusion now and call it Pony V7, which I think might make it a bit more confusing. But yeah, they do what they do. But yeah.
And on this trajectory, then, do you think we're on the path that most Anons will be fooled next year?
It depends. So a lot of the AI is actually kind of slowed down a little bit because I feel like a lot of industries are mostly focusing on now the next big hype thing of text to video. So who knows, maybe it'll get good enough for us to do like pinning animations against like the text to video, but I don't think we're quite there yet. But it's made some improvements. Like just yesterday, Novel AI's full V4 came out, where most of the ones that we were able to use in the panel were for the curated one, which is limited. And yeah, now the V4 is actually on full and even allows for not safe for work prompts, but it's also like difficult to do because it has more bias towards safe. But yeah.
Okay. So compared to last year again, do you think it was easier or harder to get pictures that you liked?
It wasn't so much difficult to get ones that I liked. It was just sort of difficult to source what I could pair it with that we haven't already done last year. Like we couldn't, get an image that we used last year and pair it with. We kind of had to switch over some categories. But overall, the actual ease of prompting is a little bit easier. But I've mostly been using like services and such like Imagen 3, which is either Google's Image FX or their new one, which is called Whisk. And both of those are free, by the way, and they have decent like mare knowledge, so you're free to use those. Whisk is only limited in some countries, like as Clipper tried before. Apparently, it's not available in the UK. So, yeah, the Brits aren't allowed to use Google Mares, unfortunately.
Yeah, why the fuck is it that the Aussies get that and I don't? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Any other general feelings you've got towards the work that you've done this year? Was there anything that struck you as particularly good or bad about any of the models you worked with?
Yeah, so Novel AI's V3 has actually gotten a lot more of that kind of artsy style to it, to where it's actually a broad enough kind of balance between both pony, furry, and weeb content. So it has enough knowledge of like cartoons and anime to get all of those like animes and such. So it has enough knowledge for that. And it has enough knowledge of like all the furry / pony art because I believe they merged their old model into it. So there previously used to be a pony model for Novel AI, but they merged it into the furry one. So that's why all the V3s was using the furry model, because it has basically the knowledge of it. And because there was enough mare prompting, it basically biased away from the furry stuff and went basically all mare. But such is the sacrifices that we have to do to get quality mares. But yeah.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I haven't been able to use Purple Smite in order to get as good results. Not that the Purple Smite is particularly bad at it. It's just the amount to make over time is quite slow because like I haven't got it set up on my PC yet because I've had technical issues, so I wasn't able to prompt locally. But I've got a new build plan, so expect that more in the future, and hopefully V7 or maybe V8 or V9. Who knows how soon it'll be developed. Speaking of, I believe Pony Diffusion, they're actually setting up a new website that's meant to house the model as well. But I think it's another service, but it'll actually use the one, so it should be quicker, hopefully, for people to use. But it just depends. It's just easier to do locally. Like most people have the hard way to do it.
Okay, so on that subject then, if anyone's trying to get into having a go with AI, what would you say is the easiest way for them to get started?
Probably the easiest way is probably just to play around with some of the free service ones, like any of the Google ones. Like I said, all of the Google ones are free, and like Bing is now pretty much obsolete to where like I haven't seen a single update for theirs. They've been in the same limbo space, but Google has now just released like Imagen 2, and Gemini is the worst version of the Imagen 3 lineup, so it kind of has that fuzzy low quality because it's designed for efficiency and just giving a quick result. ImageFX used to be the top of the line one, and to where it was a more refined Imagen 3, but it also had problems to where it would like, you try to say, hey, generate an image of Pinkie, and it's like, oh, I won't generate it because I think I'm generating people, and that's against my things, and it's like, no, it's not a person. But Whisk is the latest one to where it actually is the top quality one, and you'll notice a lot of the backgrounds and I think a lot of the SFN mares and such were using that one. So
Right.
if you have access to Whisk, definitely use it.
So chat are saying uh-oh because they heard uh-oh happen. That's because one of the mods has messaged me and says we've got 1 minute. So if you got any final parting messages, now's the time.
Yep, nothing in particular. Just have fun with prompts. Don't be afraid to simplify it. Because sometimes simple works better than complicated, because complicated can confuse it, and if confused AI can often get worse results.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much, Hazy, and also Mormez, please, and the AI art thread in general for your continued efforts and making this possible. Thank you, audience, for playing and having a good time. Again, I hope you had fun. You found most of the fakes. In fact, you found basically all of them. So next year, I think we're going to have to make it even harder. I'll have to find some way to be a right bastard next year. But it's good, because if you are being fooled by the fakes, that means there's more good quality mare art out there, and that is what I very much hope AI will enable. It's all about how you use it, not what the AI model actually is. It's just a thing at the end of the day. It's a tool. Use it to make good things, please, and I will be here to help you and present it for your pleasure. Thank you very much, and we shall head on to probably Half-Life AR VR. Actually, no, we've got Untitled Project up next, I think. Oh, I hear that's very interesting. I think you're going to want to watch it. Right, happy marecon Anons. I'm going to go have a nice drink now, and thank you for playing Find the Fake.